Well, here we are. It's late in the afternoon on election day, and I've been a little bit busy. I was the very first voter in Cherry Valley, a little bit after 7 o'clock. And then I headed down south to Allegheny County and Oakmont in particular to pass out literature for the Green Slate, and particularly for my green pal Zara, who is running for state rep in the 32nd district. Zara is running against a dead man. He died shortly after the ballots were finalized, and we have high hopes that the voters in the 32nd will choose to vote for somebody that will actually serve their needs rather than have a vacant seat until the special election. But no matter what, it was important that we get the word out. Zara is a tremendous candidate. She's a community organizer. She's taken all the right positions on all the right issues. So yeah, that's good stuff. On my way home, I was listening a little bit to the radio, and of course, no matter where I turned, I was hearing from pundits who were talking about the bloodbath that the Democrats might experience. Well, even though I voted for a straight green ticket today and didn't vote for a single soul that wasn't green, I would say that if the Republicans win, we're in trouble. But even if the Democrats win, we are in trouble. I admit that the Republicans are batshit crazy. But the thing is the Democrats are not doing the right thing when it comes to a lot of stuff, including the climate. I am particularly disturbed this week because of things that happened in the last couple of weeks. First, our Democratic governor, Tom Wolf, came out and negotiated something with the oil and gas industry and the laborers union and our machinists. I don't remember who it was, but it was some labor union that is basically going to be a suicide pact for the climate and the human race. And with some of their allies, and I say some of their allies in the Republican Party, they made it a double suicide pact. The Republicans also signed on, but so did a large majority of the Democrats. And unfortunately, some of the heroes in that particular fight were knuckle-dragging, xenophobic, homophobic, racist Republicans who didn't want to see big business get a handout. Well, hurrah for that, but that doesn't mean you're right about a lot of other stuff. So yeah, anyway, so what it means, all this talking stuff that I hear going in, is that we're in for a rough ride, that a lot of our rights will be eroded. And so what I wanted to talk about today was something that's near and dear to my heart. We've just started a new group. It's called Pennsylvanians for Action on Climate. And what it is a group that has been formed at the intersection of bad climate policy and corrupt politicians. We are specifically saying that a lot of our a lot of our bad climate policy is the result of the corrupt practices that go on in Harrisburg and in DC and a lot of other places. Unfortunately, our government is the best it can be bought, and it goes by the golden rule, not the one that you and I love, but the one that says he who has the gold makes the rules. Well, anyway, yeah, we're getting ready to have supposedly a horrible ride ahead of us where our rights are going to be eroded. And it seems to me that this is a very ripe time for PAC. PAC is dedicated to nonviolent direct action. We think that is one of the most underused tools in the activist toolbox. And as a consequence, this is a tool that we hope to employ very frequently, and we need help. And We are also going to be offering a training on November 20th. That training will be put on by seasoned, nationally known practitioners of direct action. And this will be a Zoom extravaganza. I mean, you're going to get a chance to hear about what nonviolent direct action is. You're going to get a chance to play around with some of the techniques. You'll hear about why nonviolent direct action is an appropriate thing for these times. And you'll also hear about some upcoming actions that are in the works. So what I would suggest is, if you are interested, reach out to me, or you can go to Action Network and look up PAC, Pennsylvanians for Action on Climate. I wish I had the address right in front of me, but I don't. So reaching out to me would be one good way. We are networking with, like I said, some extremely talented direct action practitioners, and we are going to be doing, I think it's 3 hours a training. But why is this important if your issue isn't climate? Well, because like I said, this is one of the most underutilized but most powerful tools in the activist toolbox. And if we want to fight many of the things that are in the pipes, if things are as bad as the pundits are saying, then we are going to need to learn to use this particular tool and a whole lot of others. So even if you're not interested in participating in direct action, you should think about coming to this direct action training, hearing more about it. Let me just tell you my own story. I remember growing up with nonviolent direct action. I can remember Dr. King and others in the civil rights movement, SNCC and others, powerfully using this technique. But I myself was unwilling to do it. It just seemed way too scary. And then in the late spring of, I think it was 2011, I participated in something called the March on Blair Mountain. And even though I didn't participate, I did go to the direct action training, and I did get to watch up close and personally folks who did engage in nonviolent direct action. And I saw how powerful that was. And that convinced me that maybe later on I should try. And so that summer, the opportunity presented itself. And I don't know if you remember it or not, but there was something called the Keystone XL pipeline. And there was a series of, there's a month-long series of direct actions that took place in front of the White House. Karen, my wife, and I went to D.C., and on the third day of that action, we were arrested, and I have not looked back. I have been arrested many times since then, and some of those arrests have led to massive successes. Well, the one in D.C. that I participated in after a whole month, I believe, and then it didn't just stop there. There were more actions that came after it. It went on and it went on, and finally, President Obama put an end to the Keystone XL pipeline. Like I said, I've since done other actions, and one of my favorite groups right now in Pennsylvania is March on Harrisburg. They have been doing a extremely effective bunch of nonviolent direct actions around the gift ban and corruption in Pennsylvania. We are working with March on Harrisburg, PAC, Pennsylvanians for Action on Climate. They are an important part of our team. And anyway, I really hope you'll think about participating in this training. And let me also say this: you don't have to be arrested to be a participant. There are always roles for people who do not want to be arrested. There need to be legal observers. There need to be police liaisons. There need to be worker liaisons. They need to be just even people bearing moral witness, people on the sideline, well outside of harm's way, who are bearing witness, who are observing and carrying the message onward and upward. So anyway, please think about joining this. I hope the best things happen in today's election. I am not optimistic, but I certainly hope the best things happen, and we don't need this. That all the climate heroes will be elected. All the folks who are interested in preserving all of our rights, including our right to speech, our right to vote, our right to abortion, our right to whatever. I hope they all get elected. I'm not optimistic. But anyway, power to you. Let's go.